Okay.
welcome to the OutRunners podcast. This is your host, Kitija Stropanies. And with me, I have the most beautiful person on earth, Taylor, but call her T-Rock.
Oh,
No,
that's
you
the new
need to delete that. No,
that's the
you
new
don't.
intro.
No,
All right, you ready to rock?
I'm ready to rock.
Let's rock. Welcome back to the OutRunners podcast. I am your host, Taylor Rockwell. With me, I am with my lovely, beautiful co-host.
Kitija. No, don't call me that. Why did I put now? Everyone's gonna call me Kitija.
Just call her Kitija, please.
Don't call me. I will come anyway.
Don't call me, I'll call you. We need to have a serious conversation because your girls are going through it and we need to talk about it. We have some things to work through. Kitija yesterday called me and said, Tay-Rock, I am in a rut. I have no goals that I'm working towards. I feel like, what's the point? You know, everything doesn't feel straight. Everything feels upside down, sideways. And we need to talk about it because your girl, Tay-Rock, also just came out of a rut. I'm on the tail end of it, but now my girl Kitija is entering it. And I think we need to have some serious conversations because it's time for us to rally the troops, talk about this, figure out what's going on, gain control, gain confidence, and move forward. So let's work through it. Kitija, take it away. What's going on?
I'm sad. No, I mean, I just feel like you had your high, and then you dropped really low. And I think when you dropped really low, I was still climbing the high and then I dropped. And I feel like since I did my half marathon event, I just been so low. And I think it's because I'm very goal oriented person. I strive on achieving goals. I strive on having the journey to achieve a goal. And I struggle to enjoy the journey if I don't have the goal at the end. So now I'm trying to navigate that process because I don't have a goal in the future. I kind of do have a marathon. We both have. We are running a marathon in San Diego in May. But the funny thing with that is that I know I can run a marathon and it's not hard enough anymore. It doesn't lit the fire under me to go out and like be so excited about these. I'm still doing my training. I'm still doing a speed training and I'm getting back into it. I have done like 2 speed sessions and it's exciting to see that I can run faster, but it's not like how it was when I first trained for a marathon. And I don't know how to navigate it and find the passion in it. So Taylor was kicking my butt yesterday and just, saying to appreciate it and everything. And I just don't know how to go through it because I have constantly been, I ran my first half marathon, then I ran my first marathon, and then I ran another marathon, and then I did another marathon, then I trained for Ironman. Then we, all those things I have constantly had something to look forward to. But now the goal in future is not hard enough for me and I need something that is going to test me.
I think this is really common in athletes and specifically endurance athletes because there's a whole name for it. It's called post-race blues. It's literally a name. So it's so common in endurance athletes that it has its own name, post-race blues. And if you haven't ever experienced it, what it essentially feels like is you work so hard for a goal. My goal is to finish a marathon. You train, let's say, 4 to 6 months to complete this. You experience it. That's all you're putting all your energy on. You go to the event, you run the event, you cross that finish line, and then all of a sudden you don't have a carrot in front of your face to chase anymore. You eat the carrot. And then there might be even a feeling of like, that carrot wasn't as sweet as I expected it to be. Or that's it. I thought this carrot was going to last a lot longer than just the 4 hours that it did. And because of this, marathons or achieving such a big goal can also drop a huge level of dopamine. I don't know if everyone has experienced this, but for myself, I usually cry at least once in most events from just so much gratitude. And it's not something I force upon myself to cry. I'm not like, oh my God, I'm so grateful. Let me have a moment of crying. It's just this overwhelming feeling where it's like I have no choice but to release it through tears because it's so impactful that once it's over, I'm crying, I'm having the highest highs of my life. I just talked about last episode how I completed 100K, one of the best, farthest races I've ever completed. And then I went to work the very next week and got fired. And so it's literally like, how do I go from the highest highs to the lowest lows? And something that I was talking about with Kitija yesterday is I asked her, I go, do you think if we're running every day and we're dropping such high levels of dopamine every day, that it makes everyday tasks less enjoyable because it doesn't possess the same amount of dopamine as running does? What did you say to me? What do you think?
I think definitely it doesn't, the daily tasks don't give me it's not interesting to me. I'm bored. I don't, I find it really hard to do the things that I find boring. And I feel like a lot of things in my life right now are boring. But also, I do realize it's just a normal way of living. Like, it's not like something exciting is going to happen every single day in your life. Like, it's just how it is to be an adult. You wake up, you go to work, you finish work, and you get on with your day. I think because also, like, in January we were just running so much. We constantly had so much dopamine, even though like sometimes it was like really hard to run and everything. And I haven't had that much dopamine anymore. And I feel like because I'm kind of like in this rut right now, I also wait till like very last minute to go for my run. But when I go outside, I'm fine. I'm cool. Like afterwards, I feel great. But I just find it very hard to make the first step to go outside and get the dopamine. So what we were talking about is that I used to train in the morning, and maybe I need to go back to training in the morning. So I get the dopamine in the morning and I'm more excited for my day and I have more passion and, the dopamine to use during my day. I think I just need to change my day around to have that emotion released earlier and having it to work for me during the day, because now I get the dopamine hit in the evening, but I just go to sleep and it kind of goes to waste in a way for me.
Perhaps I need to look more into this, but there's a huge correlation with people who have addictive personalities, whether that's to alcohol, drugs, porn, sex, food, whatever it is. And a lot of people can find recovery from those addictive, let's say bad or poor substances into endurance sports, Ironman, running, cycling, swimming. I might ask this person if we can have him as a guest on our podcast to speak a little bit more of this. But there's this guy, his name's Rob Archuleta. He's wrote a book. He has a CrossFit gym and it's called Addict to Athlete. And what they do is they take addictive behavior and they take that addictive personality, those addictive behaviors, and they don't try to take them away or minimize them. They just try to redirect them on something that's potentially a more positive outlet, such as running, endurance, CrossFit, working out. Even though you and I potentially have not experienced such negative addictive traits, perhaps we just jumped to the solution and now we're in this addictive pattern. Because I also feel very unfulfilled in daily tasks. So much to the point where I kind of think like, what's the point? Like I only feel as if I'm living and if I'm truly being my authentic self, my highest form of vibration when I'm running. And I struggle a lot with experiencing symptoms of anxiety. I don't feel an ounce of anxiety when I'm running. I feel so pure. I feel like so youthful. I feel so alive. So much so that I have convinced my daily life that the only way to be able to sustain a running life is to do the boring things. For example, I only sleep so I can recover so I can run. I only eat so I can be fueled to run. I only have a job so I can afford all the running events that I want to so I can run. I only do everything I do to support my activity of running. So It's interesting to hear you say this because I don't think I would have enough self-reflection to say or admit that to myself without trying to just be vulnerable and to try to find some empathy on what you're experiencing. Based off of everything I just said, what are your thoughts and how do you think you can relate or agree or disagree?
Definitely agree. I do think I have addictive personality for sure. I used to would drink alcohol. I was never addicted to it, but I would drink and smoke and, food and all those things. I think also most of my family has some sort of addictive personality traits. And I do think I have directed it to endurance sport, because how is it that few years ago 5K gave me the highest high and now 5K doesn't do anything to me? How, like, I have never really been addicted to substances like that, but from what I know, it's like eventually you need a higher dose, you know? And I feel like with running now, this is when I said like the marathon doesn't kind of do it for me anymore. Even when I finished like the Ironman 70.3, I was talking to my family afterwards and they were saying, "You don't even look like you did anything." I was like, because it wasn't hard. It wasn't hard enough. It was hard, but it wasn't hard enough. I didn't reach the point where I needed to crack myself, and I need to get to that point, and I don't know how to get to that point. And when you were saying about losing interest in other things, I have that so much. It's literally, I just think like, what's the point? When I'm working, it's just like, what's the point? Like genuinely thinking, like, I just feel like I think too much about it and then I get too much in my head. And I just think like, in a grand scheme of things, the work doesn't actually matter. It's just so weird for me to keep working and doing something that I feel like it doesn't fulfill my purpose. And I find it really hard to do things that don't feel my purpose. But then, when you said, oh, me eating this food is going to help fuel my running. Me doing this job is going to pay for my races. So that's what I'm trying to look at. I'm trying to change that mindset now to, if I do this job, I get to earn the money so I can, travel and do the races and buy the shoes and all those things. Like, I'm trying to put the running, but it's really hard because the running I'm doing now is not enough. You get what I'm saying? It's like, I
Mhm.
understand the money that I'm earning is good for the running, but the running is not enough now. I need more of the running. I need bigger thing, the marathon. So I think it's time for me to finally sign up to like 100K or something I need.
Yeah, actually, I don't know if you remember, but I was really sad in February and I was talking to you and you were like, "Well, maybe you just need to slow down. Like you're doing so much, like we ran so much in January, maybe you need to slow down." And I kept telling you like, "No, my life was better when I had more miles. Taking miles away isn't going to make it better. Adding more miles seems to be the solution because I felt better when I was running more than if I'm running less." Ultimately, I also saw this thing in my doom scrolling on Instagram was that sometimes people will self-sabotage their goal only to extend the process. And so then you start asking yourself, is it the process that people are addicted to, or is it the goal that people are addicted to? Because let's say the goal is to run 100K and you're training for it. And by the time the race comes, not that it's a guarantee that you can finish because anything can happen, but if you've trained properly, you feel prepared, you're going to complete it. You know that your mind will get you there. So then, therefore, is actually running the 100K going to ever be enough? Will it always be 100K, then 100 miles, then 200 miles? Because if I could do 100, I could do 200. And then at that point, you see people who are like, okay, Moab 240. And then they're like, you know what? Let's run across the entire state of Texas. And then that's not enough. Let's just keep doing this. And at some point, I do wonder what is happening in the chemistry of our brain when we are achieving such high levels of dopamine. When I say I experience so much gratitude out there and I'm crying, yeah, you can't fake that. You can't make it up. You know, you were telling me you went for a hike this weekend and you were just crying out of happiness. I mean, I don't know about you, but when I'm making breakfast or going to sleep or taking a shower, I'm not crying out of happiness. You know, it's like, yeah, I can be grateful and show gratitude towards the food I'm making and have gratitude towards the fresh water and a warm shower. And I can be grateful to have a safe place of shelter to go to bed, but it's not impactful enough to make me want to cry with gratitude, at least not always. You know, if you've ever ran a race, by the time you take a hot shower, it hits different. But I don't know. I guess I don't have the answers. I'm experiencing this in real time with you. I'd be curious if any of our runners have experienced this as well. And ultimately, what's the solution? Is it more, more miles, higher distance, faster times, like more experience? Like, is that the answer? Which then leads me to my next question, like, is that sustainable?
That's what I wanted. I was sorry, I jumped in so quickly, but that's what I wanted to talk about is that I don't want it to be that I'm constantly chasing the goal. I don't want it to be that I'm doing some crazy races every month or something. I don't want it. That's why also like people would say, oh, but you can get a better time. But I don't care for the time like that. Yeah, maybe one day I want to like get 3:30 marathon or something, but it's not that important to me anymore.
I feel the same way because somebody just asked me what week on my marathon training am I? And I was like, "What?" They're like, "What week are you on for
Yeah.
your marathon training?" I'm like, I'm not." Like they were like, "Oh yeah, just cuz you can like run a marathon tomorrow, blah blah blah." And it's kind of like, yeah, that's not the point. Like, I'm not training to be able to run a marathon anymore. Like, there was a point where I knew exactly how many more long runs I had before I had my event. Now it's just like, oh, I just keep running every day. And then one weekend the event comes and I just do my best and I have gratitude for the event. But what I really want, or what I really in my head have been training for, is I have a pretty intense event coming up where I run from Los Angeles to Las Vegas. I've been preparing for that. And potentially, if I get off the wait list of Moab 240, that is also something that's been in the back of my head. Where do we go from here? Perhaps I don't see it as a problem, but perhaps that's addictive behavior speaking. I'm not sure. I'm gonna ask Rob if he'd be interested in coming on the podcast and talking a little bit to us about what he experiences. A little background on Rob is he actually was a drug addict, and he uh, talks about it in his book how he lived in Las Vegas and he was in nightclubs day and night. And it only took hitting rock bottom for him to then want to change his behaviors to endurance sports. If we jump the gun and we're in endurance sports, I wonder if he experiences the same addictive behavior, perhaps still in wanting more. He's done multiple Ironmans, multiple times. He has a community of people who continue to do the sport with him, which we've talked about almost normalizes the insanity, perhaps. But nonetheless, I want my girl feeling healthy, strong, confident, and having low levels of those things perhaps is part of the process because you can't always appreciate the good without knowing how the bad feels. So allowing ourselves to still experience the negative perhaps, but still using it as this is happening for us, not to us. Maybe this is just transitional or limbo. You know, I'm so glad that didn't work out because I can't wait to see what's to come mentality. But yeah, I think if anyone's in a rut or if anyone's experienced this, kind of surrendering to it and just
Mm.
experiencing it and letting it be and not having to do more. I'm not sure if the answer is more output. I don't think the answer is more productivity or do more. Perhaps it's just sit still and observe and try
That
to see the lesson around.
that's what I think I also wanted to mention is that I'm trying to give myself a little bit of space to figure out what it is that I'm chasing right now because I kind of do train for the marathon, but I'm more training. I have the plan, but I'm kind of like more to keep me structured because I'm scared I don't want to just do it whatever kind of thing. I still want some structure. I do still like some sort of routine and things like that. But I just also want to give myself some grace and just be in this moment where I need to figure out what it is that I want to do next. Because I also feel like when I'm constantly chasing the thing, I might be chasing the wrong thing, you know? It might be so cluttered with all the things that I don't see straight. I don't see clearly what I'm going after, you know? What is it that I want next? So now I'm kind of like, if I need to wake up, just work and do my run, and that's it. That's all that happens in my day. That's fine. I'm not going to be cluttering it with anything else. I just want to clear my mind and be like, okay, what is dragging me right now? What is the pull I have towards to? Um, but yeah, it would be interesting to hear how, because you said like for you, I need more. For me, I'm trying to remove things.
I think I also have been trying to remove things. Perhaps it wasn't miles, but it's limiting things in my life that I don't necessarily deem as limiting because they're so obvious. But when I take a step back and sit in quiet, I start to realize the things that make me feel cluttered. For example, it can be relationships in my life that I feel as if are heavy and I try to upkeep, and every once in a while I'm just like, why am I carrying that energy with me? I just surrender to the silence. I just be like, you know what, I'm going to take a break from that relationship, or I'm just not going to allow their opinion or their validation per se to carry with me and weigh me down. Less of their opinion, less of their validation is welcome to come with me on my path. You have been telling me I just need to spring clean. I just need to like clean my
Mm,
apartment. And then I'll feel better. For you, it's not also less miles, it's less things. It's
mm,
less stuff in front of your face. I used to always listen to music, always. I was just like, I would hear people not listening to music on their runs. I'm like, that's barbaric behavior. I would never do that. And now I find that listening to music on my runs is annoying. It feels like extra clutter.
mm.
It feels like when you are wearing sunglasses and you can't hear because you're wearing something on your face, like, or when you're driving and you can't see because the music is too loud. That's what music is starting to feel like on my runs. Overwhelming, additional. Simplify the process. Less is more is a saying for a reason.
It's funny though, because I have noticed that I don't want to listen to music now recently. Like the last like 2, 3 weeks, I don't want to, not, no songs. I don't like any songs at all. I was even talking about the hike that I had this weekend, and I said, yeah, I was talking to one of my coworkers, and I was like, I didn't even listen to any music. They're like, what do you mean? You hiked for like 4 hours? And I was like, yeah. And then I walked, and I just didn't want to.
Mm.
I just felt overwhelmed with it. I don't want it. It bothers me, you know? And that's so true, because it's just like too much, too much. And going back to like the spring clean, I need to do that. I feel like I have too much things around me, too much everything, and I need to clear my environment so I can figure out what's next for me and easy running 100K, running 100 miles, or doing an Ironman or anything like that. So,
I'm just thinking with the philosophy of running. Okay, let me start from the beginning. I feel like my anxieties stem from a feeling of unsafe. When I lost my job, I felt unsafe financially. When I am doing, let's say, having relationships, I feel unsafe because I feel like potentially abandonment is coming. Just for me, safety is where I find validation in not experiencing anxiety. So when I run and I don't experience anxiety, I feel safe. Why do I feel safe in a state of running? And to me, it's kind of the mentality of like nobody's going to save you. We've all heard that in endurance running. No one's going to run the miles for you. No one's going to save you. When I'm running, all bets on me. And I trust myself entirely. I trust my brain that even if I have negative doubts, I will get to the finish line. I will complete the mission. I will run for as long as I need to. I trust myself so much that I don't ever doubt myself. Even when I'm doubting myself, I still know I'm going to do it. Even if DNF crosses my mind, I'm like, ugh, annoying. I'll still finish. You know,
Mm.
I still have strong willpower to just trust myself. When it comes to daily life, sometimes that's not as easy or prominent to trust. It's like, yes, I knew I was going to get another job. Yes, I knew I would be fine for a few months. Yes, I knew that, you know, I will always do what I need to do. But sometimes it doesn't feel so obvious. Perhaps is there anything like that that you're experiencing that when you're running is certain versus when you're not is uncertain? Is uncertainty bothering you at all?
I think it's just running I can control, rest of the things I can't control. I think when it comes to work and uh, things around me, like they are almost out of my control. Versus when I go for a run, like it depends on me. Everything then depends on me. How far, how fast, how much I'm gonna go. So I think I'm just like, I don't know what's next. That's what I'm struggling before with. I don't know what's next.
Like a lack of
How,
purpose?
yeah, I genuinely do feel I lack purpose right now, but I just also don't want it to always, I don't want the purpose to be running races all the time, which we spoke
Mm.
about earlier. I don't want to be doing races every month. I never done that, and I don't want to do it, and I don't think it would be good for me because I feel like I would reach the end of the dopamine sooner if I keep doing those things all the time. And I think like also like for my body, it's just what I don't think it would be very healthy for me personally, you know. I know a lot of people do races like really often and they are fine and everything. I don't know. I don't want to say maybe I will do next year. Maybe I'm going to do a race every single month. But yeah, I think that's what it is. I just struggle with, I just feel like right now there is some sort of purpose for me. Why am I on this earth? That's going to go so deep now. I just feel like there is some sort of purpose and I haven't figured out what the purpose is, which means I can't work with it and I can't put steps towards it and I can't make decisions for it. And until I figure out what it is. And I believe it's a completely normal adult experience because most of us, we don't know, you know, what we are doing, especially because I feel like I don't have a partner, I don't have kids and all those things. And I think like when you have those things, you're kind of like a bit more set in your life. Whereas as me, I can be in a different country next week if I want to, but I don't know if that's what I want,
Like you
you
have too
know?
many options, you don't know what the options are. Like you feel overwhelmed.
Yeah, yeah. And it's this, and it goes back to like the goals in running and endurance sport. There's like so many options, and I don't know what to do next. I don't know what is it gonna, which one, because I think like even in the beginning of the year, I put like a reel, kind of want to do 5K in 20 minutes, kind of want to do like half marathon in this time, half a marathon in this time, run 100. And it's just so many options, so many things to do that I'm just kind of like blanked out. I don't know what to do. I don't know what is going to, you know, bring me the dopamine, I guess. So I'm just stuck right now and I don't know what is going to, how, what step to take next.
Going back to what's the purpose in life, for myself personally, I always say my purpose in life is just to experience. And I feel as if once I decided or discovered that that was my purpose, it made the expectation of what the purpose is a lot less stressful. Saying my purpose is to, I don't know what other people say their purpose in life is, to be honest, but perhaps that's a really heavy thing to put on yourself. But for me, I just say my purpose for life is just to experience what it's like to have a human experience. So that's why I'm saying right now you're experiencing, let's say, a rut. You're experiencing, let's say, not necessarily forward momentum energy. But is it still forward momentum energy just in a different form, perhaps, than your brain is used to experiencing? And all you have to do right now is just be human, just experience, just take note. Let's talk about it. Because this isn't the first time you've been in a rut. This isn't the first time you've experienced negative emotion. And every single time you come out and then you have good days. So perhaps it's raining now, but sunny days are ahead. That's almost a guarantee because we know that you're strong minded, you're capable, you're willing. You will find yourself in a position again where you just say, okay, I'm fine now. That whatever. Like, it will come. But for now, the only objective is just to experience and just take note. And that's all you really need to do. And it's really that simple, even when it's good, even when it's on your highest highs, just experience, take note, and just allow yourself to be human. And that's all the purpose is. That's the whole point. That's what your purpose is. So perhaps you were experiencing what it was like to be on this roller coaster of up, 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 and now you're at the top, and now you're experiencing what it's like, the crazy downfall of down, 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 and now you have some spirals on the roller coaster coming ahead, and all you have to do is just ride the roller coaster, experience, put your hands up, start screaming and having fun. Like, really, that's all there is to do. To say there's something more purposeful or more impactful, perhaps having a partner, perhaps having children. Yes, those are something that would experience beautiful, magical moments, but that doesn't mean your experiences that you're creating on a daily basis in your own realm are less important or less meaningful or less impact on the purpose that you're having as a whole. Like, overall, it's just different experiences. But both you and another person on the side of the world having a partner and children are both just experiencing for the first time.
Yes, I agree. I just that's why I want to give myself grace and I can't be constantly on a high, 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 high. Like it will go down eventually. And I feel like also it's not like nothing is bad. Like everything is fine. I still have my job, I have roof over my head, I have the money, like everything is fine. In a grand scheme, everything is fine. It's just like there's this something is off, you know? And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to ride the wave and be in this moment because, as you said, this is just an experience. This is how I live right now, and genuine, like nothing is bad. It's just that I'm searching for. And also, I feel like sometimes these things happen before big changes happen. And I trust the process. And I know I'm going to come back stronger than ever. But I feel like I'm putting too much pressure on myself sometimes to perform really well, to do all those things. And I'm kind of like, why am I pressuring myself to do something that I don't like? Me, I can't fake it. I struggle to pull a happy face on when I'm not happy. I can't. It doesn't come naturally to me. So I'm kind of like, if I'm sad, I'm sad. And I'm still gonna do my daily miles anyways.
Speaking runner's language, perhaps you're just on mile 17, 18, 19,
Yeah.
20 of your marathon. The mile 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is the beginning of this crazy journey. Mile 13 is halfway. There's nothing quite special about mile 17, 18,
No,
19,
that's when
20.
you
It's just keep going. It's just experience. And perhaps, once you get to mile 25, only a mile left to go. Once you get to mile 26, only point 0.2 to go. And then you cross the finish line. Just allow yourself to be in mile 17, 18, 19. There's nothing quite special. There's nothing quite wrong with. There's nothing quite amazing or, you know, just allow yourself to be on that journey of mile 17, 18 and just look around. What do you see? What do you smell? What does this feel like? You've been here before. First time experiencing this course, perhaps, but not your first time experiencing mile 18. So just look around, enjoy the experience, and just trust that, like, yeah, mile 26.2 is coming for you.
That's a very good way to put it, actually. Like a really, really good way. I'm so proud of me. No, it's
Runner's
actually, but
terminology.
no, but it's so true because we start off on this like really big excitement, and then we have all these emotions, and everything is great. And at some point, it has to go down. Like it's just naturally, it's gonna go down. It's like seasons: winter, spring, summer, autumn. Like you have to go through these seasons. And I was just in a high season, and now it's gonna go down, and then it's gonna go up because genuinely nothing is bad. You know, when you're running the marathon and you are in the mile 17, 18, like nothing in a grand scheme is bad. Like your body's still like you're alive, you're moving, everything's fine. It's just there's some bits that are missing, which would be like, I don't know, you need some water or something like that. So that's what I'm navigating. But also there is something about me achieving the goals. I am very, very goal oriented person, and I find that maybe I just need to reach for bigger goals, you know, and maybe you need to, you know, set, because people say you need to set some out of this world goals and then try to achieve them. And maybe you're going to achieve half the goal, but it would be still more than you would have achieved if you made the goal really small, you know? Um, so yeah, I don't know. We will see what I come up with. I will just ride the wave and see, enjoy. I'm gonna go for a run, think about it, because the best thinking happens when I'm running, and maybe cry a little bit.
Yeah.
And just
Overall, you're a beautiful person in and out. You're capable of getting yourself to success. Most importantly, you're willing to getting yourself to success. You're self analyzing, you're self reflecting, you're allowing yourself to be present. And with that, that's just like a beautiful experience. So I love you. You love you. Trust the journey, trust the process, and just have fun. And like we always say, no expectations. There's no expectations on when you need to be better. There's not a time frame. There's not a, let's say, scale of you're good now, you're not good later. Like there's no scale, there's no expectations. Just like relax, float a little bit, surrender to the waves, stop getting crashed by the waves. Just float at the top and you'll eventually make it back to shore and you'll be all right. Feel the sun beaming on your body, feel the sand underneath you, and then you'll be like, "Oh, yeah, I'm good. Let's go back out for another or another ride. Grab your surfboard, let's go." And you'll be all right. So, I love you. I trust in you. I know you'll figure it out. I'm here to support you. This community is here to support you. You have all the resources and community you need. I know you're like all the way over there and it feels like you're by yourself, but you're not. Lilo is with you. We love you and you're doing your best and I'm proud of you.
you made me cry at 6 a.m. Now you're making me cry at 6 p.m.
What can I say?
Can go get a break. Oh, I love you. I'm so proud of you.
I love you. I'm proud of you. And if you got this far in the episode, thank you for listening. If you have any feedback or you want to share any experiences you have, do not hesitate to DM us on Instagram. It's the OutRun Us challenges. It's a red photo of Kitija and I. If you want to share independent thoughts with me or Kitija, my Instagram is at Taylor_Rockwell. Kitija is at alter ego Kitija. We're here. We want to hear your thoughts. Comment on this podcast. Give us a rating. All the things that make you feel part of this community because you very much are. You're appreciated. And we'll see you in the next episode. Oh,
Wait.
I already know. Go ahead. Go on. Go on. Go on. Go on. Just say it. What are you
So
grateful
what
for?
happened? What happened with
All right,
gratitude,
Kitija. What
girl?
are you grateful for? I
I
just said
found.
how grateful I am for you.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay. What are
you
you
did.
grateful for?
No. Also, by the way, I went for a hike today, not today, this weekend, and I cried so many times. And I cried when I saw a bench, and I was like, oh my God, I need to do a gratitude bench. So, yeah, I had a gratitude bench twice, actually.
If you don't know
And
what gratitude bench is, it's when C and I are out on the trails and we see a bench, we always sit down and say gratitude bench and we look at the view and we say something that we're grateful for. So when Katia is with us, we introduce her to the culture of gratitude bench. And if you're a trail runner, I often encourage you to take on that same practice. It really makes a difference in how you run and being present. So that's what Kitija is referring to. But go ahead. What are you grateful for?
What am I grateful for? I am grateful for my ability, I guess, to understand my feelings now that I'm a bit older. And instead of maybe suppressing them and maybe not share them with others, I actually talk about it. And I feel like problem shared is problem halved. And I'm grateful that I have you in my life that I can talk to about those things. And that I hope me sharing how I feel right now on this podcast maybe will help somebody else if they are feeling the same way. To like, because I used to wouldn't share my emotions because I felt like it's just me that feels that way, and that somehow different, to where now I understand that we kind of like have the same experiences in life, similar at least, and that if I'm feeling a bit sad or a little bit in a rut, that it's okay. That I'm not broken because I feel that way. So I'm grateful for the ability to express myself and maybe help somebody else to relate and realize that you're not broken. You're just human. What are you grateful for, Tay?
I'm grateful for also allowing myself the opportunity to go through hardship and allowing myself to experience, feel, and truly experience and try to understand it and develop toolboxes to be someone who's strong to lean on. So that way, when I was going through it, you were strong enough for me to lean on. And I am thankful that I did the work so that way I can be to the same support of you when you're a little fatigued and you just need someone to lean on and help you up this hill. I'm grateful to be here for you, grateful for our friendship, and ultimately just grateful for the experience. This is the event of life, and we're doing the best we can. So, taking, let's say, the quote unquote hard moments and just learning that they happen for us, not to us. They are crucial parts of our development to develop grit, to develop growth, to develop wisdom. Yeah, just grateful for my capability to do that, your capability to do that, and for us to be a community and cultivate the wisdom, the experience to share with our community, and hopefully just allow people to feel safe. Because talking with you, talking with the community makes me feel safe, which makes me feel less anxiety, which makes me not have to run millions of miles. So thank you, everybody. But nonetheless, thank you for listening. Let us know all your thoughts, words, opinions, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.